Hello folks, it's Darren here, that Tassie Wargamer, back at John's place. Made a video last week, for the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, we tend to wrap up and I actually forgot to do a wrap up, so I've looked over the video and it just didn't feel as if it was complete, so I'll scrap that. Hopefully this week I'll be able to give you an entire video with a wrap up at the end too. We are playing Chain of Command in 20mm on a 7x5 table, roughly. Here is the table. We have set the table up to play this Ursula and Elma from Wargames, Soldiers and Strategy, May, June 2021. We've set the table up roughly as per the map here. We didn't have enough bocage, so basically any hedges or any woods lining the roads are bocage, which means they are heavy cover. They can be used as a firing position if you're up against it, but to get across it you need to spend an entire turn getting across it, because you'd imagine trying to get through blackberries and everything else that's there as well. So we've got a village over there. I'm playing the Americans and we're going to be coming over from over that side there, or actually we're going to be, out. We haven't done our patrol phase, patrolling from there. John is going to be the Germans entering from here. So we're about to do our patrol phase and roll for our force morale, and then we'll get into it and we'll let you know how it's going. So the game is afoot. John rolled as the Germans, I rolled as the Allies. John ended up with a force morale of 11, me with 10, so it's going to be a slightly longer game. He has got two Panthers to come on. He's already got all of his squads on. Where are they? Over there. I'm looking for them, John. Over there. Yeah. And coming through. Remember, all this is bocage, so they can move reasonably freely until they start getting into close. I've got one squad here. Another squad just moving up here, out of the way, because John's got some guys already in a firing position at the bocage. Yeah. Right. Let you know.
Oh no. What are you saying? Oh, the chances of throwing a double.
Sometimes dice rolls, regardless of how remote, just happen. This is John's commander in his Panther. He moved up to a bocage. Remember, all these hedges are bocage, even though they look a bit smaller, but this is bocage. So he needed to roll 2 dice to see if he would get over it.
Yeah. He
rolled a double. Now, when you are going over hard going, and you roll a double, you are temporarily immobilised. John activated again, and he would be he would have fixed it with a 5 or 6, but would become permanently immobilised on the roll of 1. You can guess what he rolled. Yep, he rolled a 1. So John now has a Panther here with his commander in it, who can only... We're saying he can move the turret, because it's his tracks that he's obviously damaged, or his gears. So we've now got an expensive pillbox sitting there. Which it may help me a little bit.
2 and 1.
Well, as much as the Americans look like they were going to be in a great position, they've really copped a hammering. John brought a squad through here. I brought a squad up into a bocage, which is in heavy cover, thinking that they'd be able to put a fair bit of fire onto John's guys. But these are only rifles with no machine gun. I had a mortar team there. So even though I was getting some hits on him, his machine gun fire was just annihilating me. I end up losing my mortar team. My officer got hit, so he's down 1 level. I brought my senior officer over to support, and he got killed as part of that unit. So that was 1 level 4 officer down. And on that same turn, John managed to get his Panther through quickly, put some shots into my front armour, and brewed up my other senior officer. Really quiet over this side of the battlefield. Really nothing is happening. Yeah, unfortunately.
Right.
It's not looking good for the Americans. And I've remembered to do the end of game video today. What a strange game. I ended up just losing all of my Chain of Command points. It was almost a tale of 2 flanks here. Over on this flank, I've got a section here that did not fire a shot in anger. They were just covering, obviously, with with my drones, I knew that John had a couple of sections here. John had a squad, I should say. John had a squad here. He'd also end up having to move a squad up here with a Panzerschreck team, trying to cross the road. So I had this area covered, as well as had a mortar team here that we've just moved off. And none of those squads fired. Over here, I had a machine gun team that didn't fire. They were covering the road, didn't fire. A machine gun team that were here and then finally crossed into the field, didn't fire. John brought his Panther down, destroyed, as you saw before, my senior officer here, and put out of action this M10 Wolverine here as well. John's guys over here, even though a lot of those weren't his, sorry. He was pinned. I was here pinned, and in the last turn, he put one extra fire onto me, and they broke. So there they are running away. So one flank had almost no action. The guys going, what's going on? We don't understand why we're here. And over here, the battle was fiercely fought, really, between two units. And it was in this section here that I lost a senior leader, a junior leader, and a senior leader, and a support unit to really drive down my my force morale, and I ended up losing it all. John's probably the player of the day has to be John's Panther.
Yeah.
That just won on its own, and that team actually. You don't realise how important the German machine gun crews are. I had this was an armoured rifles, so I had rifles with a bazooka team. You think, oh yeah, it's a big group, but when they're up against the firepower of dual light machine guns, it's devastating. And I was in hard cover the whole time. My mortars, I had two 60mm mortars, and they fire with 3 dice, and I just find they're really ineffective. I had one as part of my list. I actually took the second one for my 3 points of support, and in hindsight, not a good thing. Not that keen on them, not that keen on snipers, so maybe a roadblock might have been better. And this guy over here, even though he was immobilised, he was still giving orders to the other tank. We're going to leave the table set up. We won't be playing next week because it's Easter. So happy Easter, everyone. And we will be back. We might even use the table to play What a Tanker. What we found is using all of these different hedges as bocage. It really, because of that line of sight issue and really having to get up and you can't see over and all that, it really makes for a really tight game. Was it fun? Absolutely. Only because I think the dice rolls just didn't go either way.
Your officers got hammered.
Officers got hammered, tanks got destroyed. It was a great game. Highly recommended. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Happy Easter, and see you in a few weeks.